Number 7 could be significant. Randomly sit at a table. I see a shape that looks like a number 7. So, yeah. Even my regular channel that I just use for fun is 777. Like Tina Loves Life 777. But this one is being posted on Cosmic Turtles channel. And yeah. So, okay, let's get to the reading. Hello everyone, this is Tina from Cosmic Turtles, and we're doing a impromptu reading. I'm using the Sacred Earth Oracle. Okay. You may have seen it like backwards. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, it is backwards. Okay, because I'm using the front facing of my cell phone to do some recordings, but I will say what words is on the cards that come out. For a lot of you, you need to use your discernment. If you want to see what the word actually says, you can put a mirror like... Okay, I'll show you. You put your cell phone like this. You put your mirror like this, like side to side, right? And then you can like read what's actually being said. And you can read it perfectly. So it'll match your expectation. Discernment, expectation. We will keep it because it was still used for the example. Use your discernment when it comes to things you want, things that are coming to you, like you've already done an asking type of thing, like I'd like to experience this type of thing, right? And then these opportunities show up and come up in front of you. The thing is you kind of have an expectation of how it should be, but it doesn't always show up that way. And the reason is because you need to use your discernment so you know how to recognize what is for you and what is not. It's just about discovering your ability to be able to see what's in front of you, be able to see what it is that matches up to the main goal of why you started anything, why you started something towards a goal, right? Okay, so we're going to use, these are basically one-word cards, but they have like a lot of like imagery. Like look at expectation. Whether it's reversed or not, it doesn't matter. Okay, you got the buffalo on the bottom. That's the very grounded part. Did you know that when there's a storm, the buffalo doesn't run away from a storm? It runs towards it and through it because they know that is the quickest way to get through something. So that's like a life lesson. If you expect to get through it, face it and go through it. Like, use every bit of courage you got. You could be scared. It's okay. But use every bit of courage that you got and go through it. And believe me, the groundedness of the buffalo, you'll be going slow through it. That was my experience about the buffalo energy in a ceremony. But you can go real fast too, because I seen buffalo run. Okay, and the other part is that dragonfly. Once you like... Oh, what's at the bottom? A rose. Oh, cool. It's like a flower types. And it rises right through you. And then it's the dragonfly wing. Okay, it's the development of your evolution. You start down on the ground and you build it all the way up. Your heart wings will open. There'll be a transformation of sorts. You'll go through 3 transformations before you get to the 4th one, which is the dragonfly one. So there'll be 3 major trials. If you're a gamer, you go through 3 bosses before you get to the major boss. And once you get through that, you're good. You almost like, you pretty much won the game. So that's one way of looking at it, if it's a gamer mentality. I said that because maybe some of you that are watching could actually have a lot of interest in gaming. So the expectation here is like, how to use expectation. You can use it as anticipation without knowing what the results are. Expectation is usually like, I expect this to happen because I deserve it. But if you don't know yourself, what you expect will not be what you expect, right? It's not going to be what you deserve because you don't even know who you are. if you know who you are, then yes, you will get exactly what you're asking for. That's the difference between people. There's different levels we're working with at the same time being human. Okay? Reaction is the next one. The reaction towards our expectations. Oh, that happened a lot. I was like half in a dream-like way, not seeing everything for what it is, so I know what I'm talking about. So by the time I come to the realization, oh shit, now I see things for what they are, it's totally different than when I did not know. It was a filter that was put on. I looked like I was naive, easy prey. The thing is, while that was happening, I was still learning, right? So now my reaction is a little different. Before it was like, why? Why is this happening to me, right? So now, when the expectation is not met, I'm like, was I knowing myself enough? Is there an actual life and death reason why it didn't show up the way I'd like it to be? Because let's say you're traveling and the plane lands, you're waiting, and then your next flight gets canceled. That's a true example. Now, the flight being canceled, they could tell you whatever reason. The true reason could be it's a life or death reason. And you don't know that. At the moment, when you're living through it without knowing the future thing, you're like, oh no, and your reaction is like panic. It's like whatever it was. It's so then when you find out what the true meaning is, why, you're like, oh geez, if I would have went on that flight, I would have died. If they did not cancel it, that plane would have crashed. And that was the reason. But sometimes we don't know ahead of time. So it's good to use our discernment whenever our expectations are not met in the way that we wanted them to be met. Okay? And then it changes our reaction. If we kind of know that, like, take it easy, easy peasy, don't need to make a big fuss about it. There's probably a reason. I don't know yet, but I'm gonna know soon. Someone's gonna let me know, right? I used to work at a convenience store, and I had back then I did not have a weather app. It was just a phone, but no weather app yet. And you know, you want to know like what's the weather and all that if you're going to plan anything. I knew all I had to do was go to work, come back, and if there was days off, I plan accordingly at that day. I'm ADHD, so it only happens whenever it happens. So at that time, working at the convenience store, I was like, on a day-to-day basis, every client I meet, they talk about the weather. So I was like, cool. I don't need to watch the TV to let me know what the weather is, because all these clients that come in, they're telling me ahead of time how the weather's going to be. And I used my discernment with it. I didn't take word for word that person. I took like the statistics, like the every person that came in that day, all those that said pretty much the same thing. I was like, okay, so every one of these people watch the same channel, so it's pretty much possibly what the weather's going to be tomorrow. And sure enough, the next day, that's what the weather was. Because people would tell me, because I was in the customer service industry. So I didn't need to watch the weather. Anyone that asked me, so what's the weather tomorrow? I would be like, well, according to, and I would say my statistics, all the clients I had today, the majority of them said it was this. I was like, oh, okay, you know? So I go by consensus, although I understand that this was just like one example. That one example cannot be applied to every part of your life. Because if you have a whole bunch of people that are telling you this person is bad, this person is bad, this person is bad, but you didn't actually meet that person. And until you do, then you know the truth. Everyone had a misunderstanding about that person. And like, even though everyone says it, doesn't mean it is true. Okay, especially when it comes to other people. And you have to be able to go and get it from the person yourself. If you cannot, take everything with a grain of salt. That's an expression that means don't believe everything you hear. Just use your discernment. Okay, so these are all like examples here. The reading will be things about life that maybe it connects, maybe it doesn't. If it doesn't resonate with you, just throw it out the window. Throw it at the brick wall here. But take what makes sense to you. Whatever comes to you, it's either to be reflected upon you because you need to see that about yourself, or it's either you need to see it so you can be inspired because you've been asking to be inspired. It could be you need to see it so you could see how things actually are instead of what you thought they were. Okay? I went through that one a lot, so I'm no stranger about that. That's how I get my wisdom. Through my experiences and through other people's shared experience when they are authentic. So, okay. I use discernment to find out what's authentic and not. I had to become authentic so I could recognize it from other people. Okay? Everything's a work in progress. No one feels easy about it. You can get comfortable in who you are once you know yourself. You could play around and be like mischievous with it. That's normal. Okay? So you think someone's gone out of character in your life? No, they're just testing out the waters because they discovered a part of who they are. Yeah. Use everything in moderation. This says moderation. Everything in moderation. You could discover a new skill, you want to use it excessively, it's going to backfire. Use it for when it's time to use it. You acquired this skill set in an environment which wasn't so pleasant. So when you got the wisdom of it, it doesn't mean it's going to be applied everywhere. Not everyone went through the same hardship as you. However, when you do recognize someone that is going through a similar hardship you went through, you can use your discernment and moderation to help if they ask. Okay? When you discover something that's so amazing and it's like wisdom, you want to share it with everybody. Okay, and that definitely backfires on you. Okay? I learned it once, and after that I was like, whoa, I'm just going to share whatever people are asking. And I'm going to sense if they're really wanting to know or if they're just playing around. So I'll know the difference. So I'll know how to answer back. Like, oh, they really want to know, I'll sit down. My normal way was, I'm going to help you, I'm going to sit down. But this person was fucking around. So I'm like, okay, no, they don't want to know. But how come they look like they did? It's because they were fucking around. But I did not know that. But I left that space open for that play to happen. So I need to use my discernment and moderation on how it is I interact with the world. There's a type of balance you get to know. You and the world. Red or blue, right? I integrated red and blue within myself. It became purple. Once you got that, you choose when it is that you interact or when it is that you play around. Okay? So these are just little tidbits of like nuggets of wisdom. It's just a perspective, okay? This is a perspective. It's a perspective of one person that lived it, that gathered perspectives from many people and can see how this person's perspective, how it would all like go through. And then if it was from this person's perspective, it would all come through this way. If it was from this perspective, then it would all come through this way. I gathered many perspectives so I can come through with like 8 different perspectives at the same time because of ADHD and autism. So I could see all these things. I could actually just focus on one or many. I could see that I have all of them. But even though I see it all, what use is it to me? Unless it's a gift that I share. When I share it, it becomes a gift. So when I gift it, it has to be a gift to the other person. So we get to know who we are, how we fit in, how we navigate, where we're going, what our goals is, what we're expecting. The expectation always goes with how much acceptance and surrender we have about life. I say acceptance and surrender. The surrender part is, okay, whatever it is you give me, I'll accept, because that's what I'm showing up as. The acceptance is, I know who I am, I'm going to accept it. So it works out either way, even though it looks like it's an opposite. Okay? Expectation is a fun one. I don't have any, not really. I do in some way. But let's say I was going to, between me here on the earth, shooting for an idea that would reach the stars, if I land on the moon, I'm happy. You know what I mean? Like if I land halfway, I'm good with that too. Because at least the result will still be there. There's certain plants that can still grow even though there's a drought. So I have that respect for that kind of strength that exists in life. Surface. Surface is your projection, how you look. I have dark brown hair. I went blonde. On the surface, that's what I was when I was little. I'm recreating the visual image of when I was little. Until 4 years old. 4 years old, my hair turned dark brown. And I'm like questioning, what happened? I know there was some types of trauma. I drowned, actually, and I come back. So I want to get back to that space before drowning. I want to get back to that piece of me. It's like a soul retrieval, in a way. I want to dig deep within and get that part. And if I need a visual surface way to get there, I'll use any means that's available to me, and this is fun. It caters to my creative side. It caters to my practical side. I could have fun with this. And even though it's just surface, this surface is going to help me go deeper. Okay? So that's what builds your magnetism. Recognizing the pieces and parts of you that has a certain polarity, and you know it's going to attract. Okay? How do you use all this in a good way? So it benefits you, but not just you. It benefits others as well as you interact with them. This causes productivity in your life. Causes things to move forward. And then you become like a professional at it because you've been doing it all your life. Every one of us has something specific. Something awesome specific. It builds up your fortitude. You become really strong in that part of you that you know. Once you know that part and you tested it with the opposite of what you usually like. Sometimes that's why you see people going out of character. It's because they're testing something on the inside of them. They're testing something to see if it's still gonna stay the same. We always do that. But this is a personal journey. It's not something we say to anybody else because we don't know how to tell them. Okay, these are things that most people don't have words for. We have heat. We have center. And then we have perception. These are three different ones that kind of come into play. We have perspective, but now we have perception, how we see things as they are. Heat, center, perception. Heat, center, perception. I'm thinking inner peace, inner warmth, the ability to regulate yourself. Your center is your core, and if it's full of heat, maybe you need to reach every part of you, the extremities. When your body's in trouble, it's going to bring all the heat to the center. It's going to bring everything to the center. Your fingers and toes may get cold, maybe even the tip of your nose, because your body is like in a fight or flight. It says, we got to protect the main organs so the rest can survive. Like, even if we lose a finger or two, it's okay. And that's how the body thinks. So that's your center. Heat. The heat is on. So it's a matter of perception. What does this mean to you? I'm not seeing anything here for myself, really. But I think it has to do with whoever's listening. There's something about your center heating up. And your perception is maybe not being swayed. Actually, I think it's clearing things up. You know, when the heat comes on in your body, it kills all bacteria. So after that, you have a clear perception. So that's what I'm seeing. From the middle, the heat goes through, clears out all the bugs, all the dis-ease, all the whatever was in the way. The heat comes through. You just cleared a whole hotel room of bed bugs, right? Now you can sleep peacefully. So now your perception changed. That's another way of looking at it. I worked in hospitality, so I kind of know. That's just one idea, a metaphor. Whatever it means to you, there's something about your main core, your main center you've been working on. The heat's been building up. Perimenopause, maybe you're changing your way of looking at life. You don't give a shit of how you used to think, and now how you think now has more value, and you gain more respect. That could be the new perspective. The new perception that you have. Okay. And this will be the last part. It's a matter of context. This is all a matter of context, so just take it as you will. There is fragments of you here and there. You're retrieving them. There's a renewal about you that's coming back. These fragments, renewal, brings an expansion, which creates more space. Okay, you're allowing yourself to have this. You've done this because of your own consistency. You've been actually building a cool alliance between mind, body, and spirit. And this is like the internal part. What it did on the outside is that, and the reason why you got there is because you were absent. You were not around all the people you used to be around that used to like call on you, all that. You felt it was draining, and then you were great and all that, but after a while it was like just too much, and it's like I was used as a tool. It's like, fuck this. Anyway, your absence after that, while you were away from them, you were going through all this thing, and you were discovering like step by step renewal, space, pieces of yourself, and now you have more influence than you ever did. This has been your reading. Thank you. I'll see you later. This is Tina from Cosmic Turtles.